Well, with the federal budget due to be delivered next Tuesday, Federal Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland put a positive spin on Canada's economy today. Speaking in Oshawa, Ontario, she bragged that Canada's come out of the global pandemic in good standing compared to many other Western countries.
First, the good news. Canada has made a remarkable recovery from the COVID recession. Last year, Canada delivered the strongest economic growth in the G7, stronger than the United States, stronger than the United Kingdom, stronger than Germany, Italy, France, or Japan. And both the IMF and the OECD have predicted that Canada will see the strongest growth in the G7 over the course of this year. Now, what does that actually mean? It means there are 830,000 more Canadians working today than before COVID first hit. We have recovered 126% of the jobs lost to COVID, and that compares to just 114% in the United States.
The CBC's Marina von Stalkelberg was listening to the Deputy Prime Minister. She says Freeland dropped a few hints about next week's federal budget.
Chrystia Freeland did give us one little nugget, which was she said that there is targeted inflation relief coming for Canadians. In this speech, as you mentioned there, she was really trying to paint a picture that Canada is in good standing. She says that the world economy right now is in a turbulent time, and she was really trying to assure Canadians that financially we're in a good place. She mentioned as well Canadian banks, saying that they have the capital they need to weather this turbulence and are fiscally responsible. That, of course, is in reaction to the news over the weekend that a Swiss bank older than Canada itself was bought because of the fact that it was facing financial turmoil. And that has, of course, led to concerns of the international banking system overall. Now, she did talk about the financial situation across the world and inflation in Canada, the cost of living. And she said that this budget's goal will be to, quote, not pour fuel on the fire of inflation. Essentially, if Ottawa spends too much, it will drive up the cost of everything. But she did mention, as I said there, that targeted inflation relief could be coming. Have a listen to what she had to say.
Our government will deliver additional targeted inflation relief. This support will be narrowly focused and fiscally responsible. The truth is, we can't fully compensate every single Canadian for all of the effects of inflation or for elevated interest rates. To do so would only make inflation worse and force rates higher for longer.
So Freeland was pressed by reporters on what those targeted inflation measures might be. She would not reveal. She said we'd have to wait until next week. But in the fall, we did see some targeted measures specifically for low-income earning Canadians, things like the GST credit, one-time top-up for renters, these sort of things that are meant to target specific issues that are affecting people's bottom line. Now, she also hinted at two other things that we are expecting in this budget. Clean energy. So, the U.S. Inflation Act, which is offering hundreds of billions of dollars in green energy investments. There are concerns from the Canadian industry that that is going to pull investment from Canada into the United States. And Freeland definitely insinuated that there would be money for this. There have been a number of announcements over the last few weeks targeting the Canadian auto industry on more green. As well, we're expecting healthcare dollars that has been announced, including $46 billion in new spending over the next decade and $2 billion immediately to deal with urgent healthcare needs across Canada.
All right, so we know that there are some hints as to what might come, but, people are under a lot of financial stress right now. What are some of the other challenges that come with this latest budget, Marina?
Yeah, this is the first time in the fall that the Liberal government projected in their fall economic statement that they expected to balance the budget by 2028, but it remains to be seen if that's actually going to happen now with all of the financial issues happening globally. But obviously the Liberals are very keen right now to put the emphasis on their budget. They are continuing to be hammered in the House of Commons every day about election interference, what they did or didn't know. The Conservatives today introduced a motion where they are calling on the Prime Minister's Chief of Staff to testify in front of an ethics committee. That is a motion that the Bloc says that they will support. The NDP say they are waiting to decide on whether or not they will support it. That motion is expected to be voted on tomorrow here in Ottawa.
The CBC's Marina von Stackelberg in Ottawa.